problem I chose was number 3, and the problem is tickets to a concert cost either $12 or $15. A total of 300 tickets are sold, and the total receipts were $4,140. How many of each kind of ticket were sold? So what we know and how we will classify this is the first type of ticket is $12, and we're going to use X to represent the number of $12 tickets. The second type of ticket is $15, and we're going to use Y for it to represent the number of $15 tickets. Both tickets combined, 300 are sold, and the total cost of the 300 tickets was $4,140. First way to solve this is using the substitution method. So the problem we're going to use is 12x plus 15y equals $4,140 because these are the two types of tickets in order to get the grand total of the cost. And we want to know how much of each we buy. So in order to find this, we know that there are 300 tickets sold in total. So we're going to use the equation x plus y equals 300. So in order to find one of the variables, we need to move over, and we're going to move y to the other side. So we're going to subtract y and bring it over here, which equals to x equals negative y plus 300. So now that we have what x equals, we're going to plug it into the equation here. So it would be 12 times negative y plus 300 plus 15y equals 4,140. So when we multiply this 12 by negative y and 12 times 300, we'll get the new equation, which is negative 12y plus 3,600 plus 15y equals 4,140. Now, since there's two sets of y, we're going to plug them together, like conjoin them. So it would be positive 15 minus negative 12y, which is equal to 3y, plus the 3,600 equals 4,140. So now we subtract this negative 3,600 to both sides, and we get 3y equals 540, and then we divide both sides by 3, which gets us y equals 180. So now we get to plug this back in over here. So it's 12x plus 15 times 180, which is the y, equals 4,140. And we do the math, and it's 12x plus 2,700 equals 4,140. We subtract 2,700 from both sides, and we get 12x equals 1,440. Divide both sides by 12, and now we have x, which equals 120. Another way to solve is using the elimination method. So we're going to take both equations that we used before, and so it's 12x plus 15y equals 4,140, and then x plus y equals 300. So we need to match these two together. So we're going to multiply, and it has to be the opposite since this is a positive. So we're going to multiply the whole equation by negative 15. So we transfer over the first equation down, and then after calculating, it's negative 15x minus 15y equals 4,500. So we're going to put these by each row together. So this would be negative 3x, since this cancels each other out, so it's nothing. And then after this, it's 360, negative 360, sorry. And then we divide both sides by negative 3, and we get x equals 120. And so we get to plug in the x back over there to the original equation. So we get 12 times 120 plus 15y equals 4,140. Multiply 1,440 plus 15y equals 4,140. Subtract to get y by itself. 15y equals 2,700, and then divide both sides by 15, and you get y equals 180. So the last method to use is the graphing method. So we had to solve both equations that we used previously and solve them to find y, and we'd just be plugging in random numbers for x, but they'd be getting different y intercepts. So for this one, negative 12x plus 15y equals 4,140. Subtract 12x so y can be by itself. And then it looks 15y equals negative 12x plus 4,140. Divide 15 by each section, and then your answer would be y equals negative 0.8x plus 276. And then you come over here to the chart. So the x's I chose were 0, 60, 120, and 180. And you basically, where it says x, you plug in these into that, as you can see here, and you solve it. So it would be 0, 276, 60, 228, 120, 180, 180, 132. And then for the last equation, it was just x plus y equals 300. So I subtracted x, so it was y equals negative x plus 300. I used the same x for both equations, and I plugged it in the same way, and it was 0, 300, 60, 240, 120, 80, and 180, 120. So after this, I graphed both sides to see where they meet. So the first equation, the 12x plus 15y equals 4,140, is the pink line, and I just dotted all those intercepts. And then the green line is the y equals negative x plus 300. And after graphing them, they both meet at 120, 180.